Meanwhile, on the theme of the wall, which is what Donald Trump was just talking about, a troubling new report from the Washington Times detailing a smuggling network bringing illegals from the Middle East across the U.S. border, including one Afghan man who was allegedly part of a terror plot. Pinal County Sheriff Paul Babeu from a border region in Arizona is joining us now. And first of all, I want to go back to this story about this person who got over the border. Looking at the details, you know, he was with a group who was paid to smuggle him in from Mexico. They went underneath the border fence. Originally, his name was run through a terrorist screening database and came up as not a dangerous individual. Then they went through a second database, the FBI's Terrorist Identities Data Mark Environment database, and that's when they figured out that he was linked to terror. How common do you think this is?
Well, I can tell you that what's troubling, one person, one terrorist, is concerning. But we had, just in this one report, 12 different individuals that came from hotbed countries of interest in the Middle East. And the fact that these are just the ones we know of.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't feel protected or more at ease. We should feel more alarmed. The fact that we've had 80 to 120,000 plus illegals that have come across this border just here in this part of Arizona, this proves that the border is not secured, and that we have to make this a priority for national security, no longer just about illegal immigrants, no longer about the drug cartels that we're fighting here in my state. It's about national security and stopping terrorists.
And there are so many different issues at play here, and you really touch on that, because on the left, you know, a lot of times they try to make this issue about racism or about immigration and what should the rules be for immigration. Then there's the whole conversation about drugs and violence coming over the border. But this is even another layer that's even more terrifying, because we know that every terrorist group is trying every way they can to get into this country. In this case, they crawled under a fence. What do you think would have made a difference in a physical sense?
Well, what Donald Trump has been talking about, I'm a retired Army officer as well. Other countries, I've been to Israel, secure their borders. They build double barrier fences. I've helped build double barrier fences south of San Diego, north of Tijuana, and it works. And we need technology to complement those barriers with infrared cameras, lighting, and also sensors. And then more important than even the fence is, how about this novel concept of enforcing the law? Right now, there is no law, because this president, Barack Obama, has waived the law. And he doesn't want to secure the border because he says that larger threat to our national security is not ISIS, is not an unsecured border, but is global warming. So it shows you how screwed up the priorities of our nation are right now.
Yeah, Sheriff, I hate to cut it short, but we had that speech before, and that took up a lot of our time. I hope you'll come back and visit us very soon. Thank you.
Of course I will.